So I'm still celebrating the Chiefs Super Bowl victory. I think I had 3 to 4 hours of sleep. So, anyways, um, you know, the three-peat narrative is a very strong narrative. You can't ignore it because obviously, city of New Orleans is 78 and uh, Lamar Jackson's 82. He's just a running back. All of those narratives, have Gamache of 82 and Cleveland is 78. That's where the Ravens are from. These Ravens, these old Browns and Lions championship games in the 50s is just something that can tie into the Gamache city of New Orleans equal in 78. And then also Mahomes is 78. Or not Mahomes. Patrick is Gamache 78. So ultimately, you know, there, there is a double code for the Ravens and the Chiefs, and by conclusion, basically those are going to be the top two teams to win the Super Bowl next year. It should be a given that the Lions are going to make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, um, the headline said a couple of weeks ago, Lions are without a title for 66 years. Now, title 66, Caesars is 66. And to me, what does it? Baltimore Ravens, Camacho 66. For me, um, the fact that the three-peat at Gematria 59 and the Superdome is 59, by conclusion, you knew the Niners had no chance. So this meant that entering next year that there would be three-peat narratives that exist. Now, three-peat in Lamar in Orleans and Goff, I think, equal 45. So when you look into next year, when trying to see what lined up for Super Bowl 58, based off of the conclusions for what the narratives are for Super Bowl 59, you knew by conclusion that the Niners had no chance. But I think what does it for me is General Jackson wins the battle, the War of 1812. For me, what does it is Jared Goff won his NFC title at New Orleans, and Dan Campbell was an assistant coach with the Saints. Now, Jackson's 19, LA Rams 19, Jared Goff Super Bowl appearance, Dan Campbell, Dan's 19. I'm rolling with some significance behind 19 as far as future Super Bowl opponents go. So, and the public may be upset. To me, um, I think Tom Brady's immortalized that you don't want to do anything. I mean, it'd be like Goat King LeBron winning uh, 5 rings and winning a four-peat. Like that's just how I look at it. Like, oh, Tom Brady didn't win a three-peat. So I think it's just another way to immortalize Tom Brady by having by having Mahomes lose next year. Now, I still my prediction that Aaron Rodgers is going to defeat the Chiefs next year. Aaron's Gamache 22. It'd be the 22nd playoff loss for Kansas City. So, for some reason, New York teams had all of the big upsets. Like the New York Jets had the big upset over the Baltimore Colts, right? The NFL was far better than the AFL. That was a big upset to allow the merger to happen. The Giants defeated the Patriots. A Chiefs team going for a three-peat. Just for me, what's box office is Jets against Chiefs. Now you don't need to worry about the Jets are short, no outline, blah 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 blah. They've got that good Wilson guy. They've got good running backs, but it's scripted. The Jets are going to bring Bakari, whatever the left tackle from the Packers. The Jets are going to find new linemen, so you don't need to worry about the Jets. The script writer's going to take care of them. The scouts out there know who the good linemen are. They're going to be sure they go to the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, it's inevitable he faces off against Patrick Mahomes. Like, even though we didn't see it happen in last year, I think it happens in the playoffs. And Aaron Rodgers will get that win. Even though Mahomes is the golden boy, I think the white supremacist owners are going to have Mahomes lose to all their golden children. So that'd be Joe Burrow, that'd be Tom Brady, that'd be Aaron Rodgers. Mahomes loses to Brady and Rodgers. Like the white supremacist owners will line it up to where these white men are going to defeat Patrick Mahomes. He's not going to lose to Lamar. Even though the Ravens are going to go far, the Ravens are going to avoid the Chiefs. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't believe they will have Lamar lose against Patrick. They'll have Mahomes lose against Lamar. I'm just not believing it. Now, there's some quarterbacks that are down on the pecking order in the AFC. Trevor Lawrence, just plays in Jacksonville. And then, same scripted super chokers, that narrative will dominate. Although you have to really consider matchup between Jim Harbaugh and John Harbaugh. That's a very dominant narrative. So we already have a couple of dominant narratives for next year. Josh Allen is down on the list. I think they'll have Lamar beat the Bills if it ever comes down to it. But yeah, even though Bills is Gematria of Threepeat, like Gematria of 18, I just believe the Masons love 13 a lot, that the Bills will probably avoid the Chiefs for the next 3 years. Probably see a Bills-Chiefs game 4 years later, in my view, because there's a lot of possible combinations. There's a lot of possibilities that exist because, again, 6 or 7 elite quarterbacks, and you mix in all these possible combinations, you get a lot of them. But the Ravens definitely had to take a dive. That they only add 16 carries. This is how they threw the game against the Chiefs. Lamar was being good company man. Allow the daughters to become future fans. Allow the NFL to capture the market share of the pop world. I believe Lamar Jackson is going to be rewarded with a championship. Lamar took a backseat last year. He allowed the NFL to have record-breaking ratings with all the Swifties watching in the Super Bowl. I've yet to read the articles about the ratings, but I'm sure we'll figure out the numbers very soon as far as ratings goes. But Baltimore would not have made as much money as far as viewers goes if you broke the Swifties' hearts. So the NFL, I believe, will have to reward Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Nobody believes in Lamar Jackson. Oh, he's just a running back. Now, I like pocket passers better than running quarterbacks, but there is going to be a narrative for a running quarterback to win the Super Bowl. So I'll ride with Lamar Jackson. Everybody's going to doubt Lamar Jackson. It'll be his only Super Bowl, but hey, it didn't matter if all the money was on the Chiefs for the Super Bowl because the future is prop bets are the big money makers, right? Prop bets are the big money makers, but the future markets was heavily dominant towards the 49ers. So yeah. So, let's go to it very quickly. So going into the article, I believe they're going to pay them back. The Ravens need to be paid back. Andy Reid, 3 Super Bowls. They can be talking about John Harbaugh winning 2 Super Bowls. I really like the John Harbaugh narrative. Justin's Gematria 21. It can be 2 rings for John Harbaugh. It can be 1 ring for Jim Harbaugh. I believe that. But Jim Harbaugh does have the national title. These guys could have 2 championships each. And so the Chiefs are 2-point underdogs. 68% of the bet, 70% was on Kansas City. The sports books could not afford a 1-point 49er win. And they avoided that scenario. BetMGM senior trader Spencer Davis says BetMGM will be cheering for the 49ers. San Francisco winning by 1 point would be the worst outcome for the sports books, which would allow Niner futures and Chiefs spread bets to all edge. Both the Niners and Chiefs opened as the favorites. The Chiefs were 6.5 to 1. The 49ers were 7 to 1. Before the season, 10% of the future bets were on the Chiefs, 7% on the 49ers. But then that all started to change. The 49ers got more and more of the future action as the season went by. San Francisco was 2.25 to 1, and nearly all the 17% of all the bets were on the Niners to win the title, whereas the Chiefs only at 8% of the future handle. They've made a lot of money on the losing future bets on the 49ers, the 40-winers. This is what won Vegas the Super Bowl. It didn't matter if 70% whatever was on the Chiefs. When it came down to it, prop bets, except for the game to go to overtime, won. The big loser was for the public was the future bets on the 49ers. So up from 7% to 17%. These were the big losing bets of the year, was the futures on the 41ers. So it was going to be a liability if the Winers were going to win the Super Bowl. The crybaby little rich people from California, these were the ones that were basically placing the big bets. The odds were 11 to 1 in overtime. The over-under was 46.5. It went to 47. So the overall, the public did great with the over in overtime. The Chiefs covered the spread. These were the losses. They got Christian McCaffrey scored a touchdown, but Travis Kelce was the losing bet on Travis Kelce, so it didn't matter. McCaffrey was a lower payout to score. Kelce not scoring the touchdown. This was the big loser. It was a bad Super Bowl for the sports book. Many bettors had the Chiefs winning and overs on popular player props. So if it was a bad week for the sports book, then the Chiefs, in all likelihood, are not going to win the Super Bowl next year. It's going to be somebody else. There will probably be lots of action on the Kansas City Chiefs. Nobody had the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year. Nobody had the Chiefs win the Super Bowl last year. Everybody just covered their losses on the Ravens in the AFC title game for the Super Bowl. So Vegas, it is not profitable for them to have the Chiefs win the three-peat. So even though the double code is going to exist for both the Ravens and the Chiefs to win that New Orleans, the Ravens are going to be the team that's going to allow the house to have a better Super Bowl week next year because the public is going to love the Lions. But the more polarizing player, Lamar Jackson being a running back, and the Ravens being dirty, and people hating on the Ravens for Ray Lewis and all of that, the Ravens are going to be the team that's going to win the Super Bowl next year. And Vegas will make record-breaking profits. They got the future market. They didn't win. 11 to 1's a big payout, So even though the Kelce ones lost overtime ones are really big payouts. They were winning the under, and then the game went into overtime. But you see, nobody's going to bet if Las Vegas always wins. You got to have the public win sometimes so Las Vegas can still allow the cap to come in. All of the big bets were on the 40-winers. The big bets were on the 40-winers. They really murdered the people coming over from California. The Winers, they were the home team. They were the home team in the Super Bowl. They lost. The Winers lost. They choked big time. They choked. All of the big bets were on the 49ers. All the people from California, they murdered them. They murdered the 41ers. They've murdered them. They were the home team that California was closest to Nevada. They murdered all the people betting on the 49ers at Las Vegas. They murdered the 49ers. Again, the house always wins on the futures on the 49ers. The people driving over from California. I told you this would happen. I told you this would happen. So yeah, if everybody was betting on the Chiefs, and then a three-peat is just not profitable for the sports books. Big bets, 400K. I know it happened. I was reading about it. I don't think the public understands that the odds are set to guarantee the house a win regardless of which team wins. So the whole handle is going to include the futures. It's going to include the props. It's not just about the game. This is the Super Bowl. There's many things to bet on for the Super Bowl. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if the Chiefs won. It didn't matter. 70% was on. It was on the. Yeah. How many times are they going to show Taylor? They prop bet all the Gatorade bath, though it was nowhere close to being red or orange of that nature. Big bets. One better wagered $1 million on a game managing quarterback in the 49ers to win. Oh, the big bets on the full score. I love it, especially since I'm a Cardinals fan and these suckers didn't get Patrick Mahomes. I love the fact that they thought Steve Wilkes is winning the Super Bowl. Yeah, I picked that personally. 41 is a joke. All these little faggot ass motherfuckers here in Arizona rooting for Brock Purdy because he's from Arizona. Well, fuck you, motherfucker. This is Cardinal territory, you cocksucker. They'll suck my dick. Brock Purdy not winning shit, motherfucker. Get out of here. Losers. Arizona sucks at sports. Everybody open for Brock Purdy to lose. Hi, Arizona sucks. I lose a son suck. I have to search 400,000. There it was. 1 million wager and 8 six-figure bets have been placed at sportsbook so far on the Super Bowl spread and the money line. All 9 major wagers are on the 49ers to deny the 9th repeat in the history of the NFL. Caesars reported Tuesday it took 500,000 bet on the 49ers. DraftKings reported it took 500,000 on the 49ers. We're still Chiefs fans right now, Caesars VP of trading Craig Maglow said. Those $500,000 wagers are tied for the second largest Super Bowl bets reported. After Caesars took a 1 million wager on the 49ers on the money line, Caesars took 136,000 on the 49ers on the money line. The larger wagers have come in on San Fran. However, the ticket count really favors the Chiefs plus the points on the money line. So this was the plan all along. Murder the suckers out there in California. All these little tech people have all some money to throw around, and these losers have kissed it bye-bye. It was a scam. They scammed everyone from California 41er. How does it feel, 41er? How does it feel to lose like that? To look $10,000 on the game, you game managing scrub. All the fell asleep was in the answer. Your team choked. Heartbreak, 41. Murder, torture. They ripped your heart out, 41ers. This is what fair weather fans deserve. Soft ass team. They don't show up for their team. This stadium is empty when they're 7-9. The fight for. The right team won the game last night. The right team won. This is all for the young girls, for the daughters across the country. People are really butthurt over Taylor Swift. The right wing is losing their collective minds right now. What's the next big conspiracy theory I've heard from the right wing? Have we heard it? I don't think we have. So yeah, Lamar I believe the Chiefs are not profitable for the sports book next year. This is not the NBA. Nobody was on the Chiefs this year. People will be on the Chiefs next year. Definitely. When you repeat the same outcome again, you start to believe it. And it's not going to happen. Instead, looking for some security. Just, oh, the Chiefs going to be back in there. He's going to chase Tom Brady all the way. Keep in mind, this guy can easily play 24 years in the NFL. Almost played 24 years in the NFL. He's not even halfway through his career yet. So he's going to have opportunities. He will find some new toys to play with post Kelsey, post Andy Reid, what have you. And he doesn't win 6 rings with Belichick or anything. He's staying with the Chiefs. He's there for life. He already designed his own house. He's got it built. He's there for the rest of his career. He's the chief of the league, playing for the Chiefs. There's nothing you can do about it. He is a chief for life. There's nothing we can do about it. But Tom Brady went 9 years or so without a title, Super Bowl 39 to Super Bowl 49, so that was really 10 years. So I am looking at this cycle to begin. It won't be 10 years in my view. I think it'll be something more like 6 years of that nature. But Mahomes not done winning rings yet. He's going to win rings. But we'll get to that point when the right time comes.